So, do Seattle officials plan on discussing the domestic terrorism that we're facing? Welcome to the Jason Rantz Show, presented by None Better Tax Resolution. I've got a weird question we probably shouldn't have to ask, but do local leaders and law enforcement realize Seattle is the site of ongoing domestic terrorism? Yet again this week, Tesla vehicles have been targeted. This time overnight in the Soto neighborhood, Cybertrucks were torched, and we don't know who's responsible. Now, even if this were a one-time thing, you can't dismiss it. But it's not a one-time thing. In the last week of February, a Tesla was found burned in the Northgate neighborhood. Tesla stores across Seattle have been targeted. This is all a reaction to Elon Musk being part of the Trump administration. Now, when you're committing violence to forward a political position, it's called terrorism. When you're doing it domestically, it's called domestic terrorism. Democrats consistently downplay violence when it happens to be to their benefit, instead pretending that there's some white supremacist threat. Actually, that's supposedly the biggest threat facing this country, please. They're treating the attacks against Musk products, attacks that don't even hurt him as much as it hurts the Seattleites, the same way they treated Antifa violence. If it's violence that serves their political agenda, it's not seen as that big of a deal. In many cases, they just completely ignore it. Remember the response after the second assassination attempt against President Donald Trump? They didn't even pretend to care that time. And while they pretend that this isn't actually a big issue, the violence will only escalate. So here's a question. Are they waiting for someone to die? I sat down with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. Tell me a little bit about the Fresh Start program, because again, based on how it's promoted, it seems really, really simple.
This Fresh Start program and that phrase has been around for many, many, many years now. But it's a great marketing tool to say, hey, fresh start. And in a way, for those that qualify, it is. What it essentially is an offer in compromise. And to get that, there's two main criteria a person must qualify for. One, they must have limited or no equity in assets. So generally, anyone in the Puget Sound region that owns a home and has for several years, they're going to have a lot of equity. They won't qualify. And the other is an income level. And that all depends upon your family size about how much income that could be. But both of those standards need to be met to qualify. Most people do not.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn of None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967. Or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution. Did you like that commentary? Make sure you subscribe to the podcast of The Jason Rantz Show. Get it at KTTH.com or wherever it is you download your podcast.